How is it now? I won't touch the camera. Yes. I just touched the cable. Like when I went like that and it got hooked, and it's so, the USB is so loose that the camera just falls off, and then you'd think that if you plug it back in it would come back, but it didn't. So you got to start all over. So I won't touch it now. I'll leave it like that. Yeah, it's beautiful to be out in the yard and grounding, of course. You know, it feels wonderful. I tell you though, I don't know if I mentioned this before. When I got back from Ecuador, and then I was walking around barefoot immediately. Yeah, I had to start over. But yeah, so I left when I was in Ecuador. I had the Hobbit feet, nice foot pads. I got back here and I started outdoors. It was cold, but whatever they've been spraying over the winter, or whatever they've been putting on the ground in the rocks or in the shit that they throw on the roads, it splashes up onto everything. So when I went to see the skin doctor last week, he said the bottom of my feet were burned or something. Like it's as if they were burned. Like they hurt. They were sore. So, but now the Hobbit pad is coming back, so it's pretty good. Holy macaroni, man! Got to work on those bears. Yeah, you got to do the grounding. Got to do the grounding. What a glorious day, though. What a beautiful day. And we're supposed to get up to about, I don't know, 13 or so today, so we'll see. We'll see. What's going on in the sandbox? So I guess the weekend happened and all that shit happened. Retro? Is that Retro? No, that's Archie. Oh, Retro. Okay. Okay, there, Retro. Yeah, I saw your little short there, Retro. I watched it, but I didn't watch it, so I don't know. I'll have to go look at that. Yeah, but it came off in sheets. It came off in like sheets, and it was all my Hobbit pad. Like it burned the pad. It burned. It burned. Caustic, I would say. It didn't burn it like fire burn, but caustic burn. So yeah, it could be some kind of brine. It could have been as simple as that, because I noticed it right away. And now that we've had a couple of rains, and it's summer, winter's over, and they're washing, and everything's being washed away. But I could tell you something for nothing. Yesterday when I was out, and it was sunny, like right now, like a couple clouds, but I was looking in a certain angle, and I could see stuff falling from the sky, almost as if when you're looking out and you look, and there's a light rain going on, you're looking at a building as perspective, and you can just see that like silk spider webs kind of falling in the sky. And I was like, and I look up and there's not a cloud in the sky, and I'm like, there's no trails, there's no con, there's no chem, and I'm like, pollen, is something blowing around, because all the colds are going around. Everybody's stuffed up. Everybody's stuffed up. I notice myself, I'm stuffed up. So it could be just that, that transitioning between summer or spring into summer. And we get all this shit that's laying all over the place, chemicals and stuff like that. So, but spring's on the way. Yeah. Oh, you could see it coming down. Yes, and I'm sure it was pollen. My wife is sick as a dog, like sick, like just her nose is just one big elephant trunk right now. Congested. I can feel it myself, but I don't feel like, I know something is going on, and I'm clearing. But more than that, I'm not. I'm feeling. I was. achy, but that's about it. So just a transitionary thing. Who knows? The planet's going crazy. Rah, we're all gonna die. I'm just shitting you. I'm just teasing. So the weekend, Sandbox. And this is what I take away from the whole bullshit that's going on right now. It's just basically pointing out the abject and global hypocrisy that we go on. Right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Makes it easy for all of us, really, because it's that glaring. You know, you're staring at an apple pie. It's an apple pie. There's no around it. There's no like you can listen to the talking heads try and talk around it, and the layperson, who has a modicum of intelligence, you can see it for what it is and just like, this guy's a hypocrite, or this girl's a hypocrite, or these people don't know, or I can't believe that they're saying this. Can't they see what's happening? So the only thing that's the takeaway from this, and I'll get into the pros and cons of hitchhiking. We'll talk about Muhammad Ali and Tucker Carlson. How is that together? I don't know, but yeah. So as the Sandbox goes forward, especially with this latest foray into the insanity. Good light show. Thank you very much. Very good light show. I had to say that. Yeah. Yeah. Trees here are budding too. Yeah. I'll try and take a walk around, see how at the end until the camera dies, because the signal will wane as I get closer to the greenhouse because the modem's inside. So I might lose you if I walk out by the greenhouse. But we'll try and do a walk around video in the garden because I did it at the beginning, but then I touched the camera and it screwed up. So. But the Sandbox, the light show, and what has ensued because of it. And I think that's, and if I can say anything, I think it was the perfect response. Like, there's no, unless the Sandbox does it to themselves, or the certain demographic does it to themselves to have pictures of dead babies and stuff like that on the ground. But the response was measured, but what it did was it elicited a response from the talking heads, and it pointed out the hypocrisy. Because I could look at like the stammering boy wonder, what's his name, Ben Shapiro. Like he doesn't have a leg stand on. It's amazing to watch him. It's unbelievable. All his fast talking and not going to save him. So thank you. And if anything, that's what it's done. It's not solved anything, but it's pointed something out, in my opinion. That's all it's done. It's pointed something very obvious out. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, another, like, because now there was more rhetoric this morning, Like, I listened to the Iranian fella from the UN talk, and, but there again, can you really reason with a mad dog? You know? And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, because we know something's going to happen because of this. And this is, once again, the story. Has something happens, the story will have to ensue. So what that's going to be, I don't know. But all I can say is right now is that we're being played. We're being pushed back and forth. And I think, and I wanted to segue into what I wanted to talk about more than the Sandbox. Because the Sandbox is going to be the Sandbox. Whether you look at the Slavic Sandbox, you look at the Middle Eastern Sandbox, it's going to be the Sandbox. It's not going to change unless something changes, something drastically changes, like something big, like a consciousness shift where we stop doing that kind of order of business. So that's just my 2 pennies. No coffee, tea. I had my coffee already, so I'm having tea. So, when I was thinking of the Sandbox, and I was thinking of the hypocrisy, and I was thinking about all the crap that's been going on and why this is going on, and funny enough, I don't know why this showed up in my feed, but an after school video. I don't know if you've seen this channel. It's called After School, spelled with a K. And it's basically some guy does drawings, or girl, or whatever, and then somebody narrates, whether it be Thomas Sowell, whether it be Muhammad Ali, whether it be Life's Like a Box of Chocolates guy, Morgan Freeman. It doesn't matter. They'll narrate something, and it'll be a good video to watch. Like they'll talk about what's been going on lately with. They don't get into the really, but they talk about roundabout issues. And most recently, it was a Muhammad Ali, and the video was talking about him choosing his religion. I'm not going to get into that, but what I notice is because then it segued me into another video of Tucker Carlson having an interview with somebody talking about good and evil and aliens and stuff like that. And I was like, oh wow. And right away, my brain goes to, of course, old school science fiction that I've been watching my whole life, Battlestar Galactica, old one with Lauren Green and all the rest of them. And the episode where Count Iblis, or the Satan guy, the devil, for lack of a better term, and it's a two-part episode. I think it's called War of the Gods or something. It's really old, but basically the premise being that we've always been in the struggle of good and evil, and this is a thing that's been going on. And I'm only going to use those terms as a generic term. I'm not saying good is good and evil is evil in those terms, in those definitions. If somebody's doing evil, well, we got to get rid of all that to make for the better. You see what I'm saying? They're not, in their mind's eye, is, does Trudeau know he's doing evil? I'm just using those words, but see, you think you're doing something right, but in somebody else's mind, it's evil. Then the other person said, oh, they're doing good, but in that person's mind, it's evil. You see what I'm saying? So I watched this video of Muhammad Ali. It's an after-school video. It's only like a 6-minute video talking about his religion. What an intelligent man. Like, it's really, I should listen to more Muhammad Ali videos, I think. And I'll say this, and I don't want to start a pissing match, but there was something divine about him, like Elvis, like those really special people, in my opinion. They're not like you or I. Almost like, and I'll just use that, it's almost like the prophets. You know what I'm saying? That we should listen. Like guys like Thomas Sowell. And I'm sure you've all heard Thomas Sowell speak. Like when the guy speaks, all that comes out of his mouth is reason. So, beautiful day. The neighbors out. So when I was thinking of it, I was listening to that Tucker video, and he was talking about aliens, and we've been here all along, and it could be a struggle between good and evil if you want to use those terms, because those terms are very generic in their own right. Like I said, somebody's good could be looked at as somebody else's evil. Somebody's evil could be looked at as somebody else's good, and that's what it boils down to. Which is just makes one wonder: am I doing right? Is my position valid? All questions. For me, it's just more self-searching, more in looking in oneself and stuff like that. So, yeah. So good versus evil. I don't know. I can't remember who Tucker was talking to. I can't remember. It was on X, I think. It's on his new show, and I can't remember who he was talking to. Anyway, watch the after-school video with Muhammad Ali. It's one of their most recent that they just put out. It was really good. 6 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. Not that long, but it's just basically talking about, once again, pointing out that we all seem to be confused. That's my take on what I got from his talk. I love the narration, the guy who does all the cartoon drawings. It's really good. I encourage you to watch the after school Muhammad Ali thing. It's really good. Everybody still there? All of a sudden, he just died. It's so weird. Like, it'll go like a whole bunch of people watching, then zero. It's weird. So it's just annoying anyway. Aliens. So there again, another good take on the alien argument. Right on. Good to hear you guys. Okay. So another good take on the alien argument. So, because for me, we are we are in the denouement. We are at the precipice of something, some kind of change. Now, the creatures that think they are implementing some sort of change system wide, like a planetary system wide change. Now, is that going to all in my opinion, all it's going to do is that it's not going to solve any problem. It's just going to pit. It's just going to be another line, just like as in people are going to argue about it, then they're going to argue about the new system. So we'll be once again arguing about the new system as to whether or not it was good. You know, they have the proponents of the old system and want to bring back the old system. It's the same old, same old. Something in us has to change. We seem to be doing the same thing over and over again, but we know that, or we know. I have a feeling in my gut that there is a big change coming. You know, spiritual, the way we do business, how we think about each other, all that kind of stuff. Because that's why I'm looking at all this. That's why I love all this stuff that's being put forth as a hypocritical distraction. Like it, hopefully we can see through it. You know, I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. Is that how it goes? Is that the sun? See, right now there's stuff falling. I wish you could see it in front of the camera. It's blue sky, and I can see it falling. Whatever it is, little particles, little like itty bitty like dust. Yeah, I can see it, just all falling in front of the screen, landing, and it's blue blue. There you see the little white fluffies behind me, but there's something falling. Yeah, here. Ah, there we go. There I'm infected now. I did myself in now. It just went into my lung. Watch me have a tumor in 6 weeks or something. Oops. That wouldn't be bad. That would be bad. That would be bad. Hey, Archie, how's your hip? And I've sorry, I forgot to ask. How's your hip? I hope you're doing well. I hope your healing's going well. I hope it's going well. That's all I can say. That's all I can hope for is that it's well. You know, pain is pain. I don't like pain. If it's pain that I've always been familiar with, I can ignore it. But like pain is, like tooth pain, sinus pain. Not a fan. Okay, so we got good versus evil. And I'm of the opinion with Tucker that there's something about that we've always been in that struggle, uh, because I think we get confused every once in a while, and then we can go back and forth, and that we really don't. I think the definitions of those terms are too vague. Like I said, like it's a good thing to burn all that grass to get the field ready for next year. Somebody else could come in and environmental says, "Oh, the smoke you're putting in the environment, it's such an evil thing that what you're doing." And I'm using a really, really basic thing, but oops. Now I touched my mouse. I'm scared to click anything. You know. But yeah. So the evil. And one thing, like I said, one good, one evil, we don't know the difference between the two. I don't think we do. I really don't think we do. We have like good and evil, to walk up to somebody's birthday cake and to piss on it is a very bad thing. So we'll call that evil right out the gate, because there's nothing good that can come out of that. You know what I'm saying? So there are those solid ones, but the ones where we're really vague, that's the problem I think we're having. That's just my opinion. But anyway, enough of that. Enough of that. But if anything in the world is going on right now, all the shit that's going on in the world right now, it's absolutely pointing out the hypocrisy and pointing out the two sides and how that they can muddle over into each other, and that one person's good could be somebody's evil, and the same thing back and forth. So I just love it. Yeah, no, I'm the first one here to admit that. Smart as a bag of hammers. Like, yeah, sure. I can do things. I can unscrew bottles. Okay, we can make a steam engine, but there's something we're missing. We seem to be able to do the tangible things, but when it comes to the stuff that we don't know, and especially if we're dumb, like then it's dangerous. Then you get people that get angry because they're dumb. If you've seen that, you've seen people get angry because they're dumb, because they get embarrassed. So then it's just all bets off, because then they're just going to stick to the things that are just the tangible things, hammering nails. Oh, yeah. Beat me up, Scotty, man. Personally, I'm waiting for the USS Fire Extinguisher to put out all these fires. The USS Fire Extinguisher showed up with Captain Asshole, you know, who has no heart and just gonna just put out fires. Yeah, sure, the non-interference directive, sort of, but we're just here to do one job. We're putting out fires. Any fire, we put it out, and I'm being metaphorical, of course, when I say that, you know. Yeah, for all those people waiting for the Vulcans to show up and open the doors, and we're gonna solve all your problems. Yeah, keep waiting. Ain't gonna happen. I wish we. Yeah. Trust the science. Oh, I'm my own worst enemy too. You know, like I'll know something's wrong and I'll do it anyway, just to spite myself. just That's just the way I am. You know. Yeah, I know this is a quarter-inch bolt, but that it's going in that hole. You know, sometimes you just got to do it, right? But anyway, good to see you, JC. Beat me up, Scotty. Yeah, the natives are crazy. Would you interfere? That's a bigger question. Would you interfere if you had the USS Fire Extinguisher and you could put out all these fires? Because we're not going to learn anything. If somebody comes and does it for us, we're not going to learn anything. We have to put out our own fires. We have to figure it out. That's the thing. We haven't figured it out, and I don't think we are, because there's so many grifters and people trying to make a dime on everybody else's fear and all the rest of the shit just so that they can, have a gold Rolls Royce. I don't even get it. I don't even get that. I don't even understand that. If you had $1 billion, why do you want more? Like it just doesn't. It's really quite odd to me. Trust the science. For how stupid we are. Yeah, trust the science, which is a really odd statement. Trust the science, because the science changes every day. We know that. We've known that. You know, I trust the science. Oh, about the my second home country. Don't ask me what's going on down there. I got a call once again. I have not phoned about this latest excursion into stupidity with the Mexican, or the, now, if I'm not mistaken, the ex-president of Ecuador was in the Mexican embassy hiding or seeking asylum from the now government of Ecuador. The only thing I can think of is that this new president has made a deal of some sort. It's the same thing that happened last time with I think when Rafael Correa was ousted, and then we got the new fella in. I can't remember who it was, and then Assange got ripped out of the Ecuadorian embassy, if I'm not mistaken. Help me out on my timeline. I could be a little fucked up on that. I apologize, but I'm just going from memory right now. I don't have anything written down. So when that changed, I remember when Rafael it was so good in Ecuador when Rafael was there. Everybody's so happy. Everybody's so happy. Even Whitey was happy. Schools were getting done, hospitals and roads. It was wonderful. The rich weren't happy. Yeah. What's that? Rowdy Roddy Piper. They live. Yeah, good metaphor. Yeah, yeah. Obey. Do as I say, not as I do. I could segue, but hang on. Let me finish up with the Ecuador thing. I'll call. I'll find out. But obviously something's going on behind the, because don't forget, Ecuador is resource rich. It's got oil. It's very rich in resources. Very, 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 very rich in resources. It's really, really that good of a resource pit, in my opinion, from what I've seen. Almost like Liberia, right on the equator. Everything grows there, constant. And I just think it's just something's gone on, that there's a deal been made behind the wings, and I think that the citizenry is not going to be happy coming down the pipe. That's my 2 pennies on it, because this latest excursion, you don't do what he did. What he did was it's like what the Dum Dums did, and bombing the embassy in Syria. that's a no-go line, and you did that. You fucked up. So sometimes it's like, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. And once again, we're arguing the good and the evil. This is for the greater good. I don't know that. I'm not arguing that point. What I'm saying is that it's caused ripples, and it's caused, just in my opinion, he's made a deal of some sort, or some sort of deal has been made, whether it be money from the IMF or whatever. I don't know. I haven't even looked into that, but something has happened, because over the last year that he's been in office, things are changing, and I think that these are subtle moves. We'll see how it goes. But this latest one is not a good thing. I have to call my family, see what they have to say about it, see what their take is on it. Go to the ground. Go to the, if you want to find out what's going on in Quebec, call somebody in Quebec. Don't call some guy in British Columbia who's watching a video like me. I got a phone. I got to find out qué pasa. ¿Qué pasa con el gobierno? What's going on with the government? What are they doing? What are they thinking? What have they say? Because they're going to know more than we know up here. I subscribe to Telesur English, which is pretty good. It gives me some good Ecuadorian information, up to date, pretty up to date. Telesur English. It's pretty good information site, though. But it has its biases as well. So just everything with a grain of salt, right? So, and I was saying with the resources and the craziness and trusting, and how they're trying to get, I don't know why I was going to segue into this, but the weekend, maybe it has to do with the greater good, whatever, but weekend drive ban in Germany, I don't even know what to believe on that. That's crazy. I think they tried to do that in some boroughs, maybe in America. Archie, you could confirm this with me. Whomever else is in America down there, I think you all are actually. But like odd days, was it fueling? Odd days, even days. You could only drive if you had an even, your numbered plate or something like that. I don't know if they tried to implement that in certain places. But here again, this is what's going to happen. If the serfs don't drive that day, because there's not enough police, I can't, how many cars are in Germany? So everybody would get in their vehicle and drive that day. This is not I'm not telling you what to do, and this is not me trying to stir up the shit. Just an idea. Everybody drive that day. Everybody drive the weekend. I don't think there's enough cops or military on the planet to stop everybody and pull everybody over. If it's a collective, that's the thing. It has to be a collective strike, general strike. Everybody does it, or nobody does it. It's one or t'other. You can't have half measures here. You go all in or you do nothing. Go big or stay at home. It's the same thing. And eventually people are going to have to just say, okay, that's enough is enough. And then just sit down and that's it, or it's just going to get worse. And then it'll be, next weekend or every other day or this or that. The pushback now is the time right now, I think, in the point where everybody has to be just like, come on, enough is enough. Yeah. I remember the 70s, even in Canada, when all the OPEC, all that shit was going on. Yeah, 74. Back in 74, yeah. Then they went with the stupid, 55. Remember? I think we were played back then. We were played. We were played. Once again, hurt, that hook hurts, eh? Doesn't that hook hurts every once in a while when they said it? When they said it? Ecuador, Mexico, pointing out the hypocrisy. The gold heist has been supposedly, some of it has been solved. 20 million in gold went missing. Yeah, trust the science. If you drive 55, you're going to save lives. Yeah, which was a complete lie. Lie. The most efficient speed of your vehicle is 3,000 RPM on highway speed, which is roughly about 70. Most efficient. You get your best mileage. Anything faster, anything slower. Distance. We're talking trade-off, right? So there's a paper on it. We all know what's right and wrong. 55 is stupid. It's too slow. You get there tomorrow. I can't. I can't drive. I know why they made the song now. Have you ever tried to drive 55 miles an hour? Drive 55 miles an hour backwards. You know. So yeah. So the gold heist. That was interesting, though. I mean, what a great, like a Goodfellas, beautiful inside job, no crime, just turnkey, go. Hey, that was a beautiful Goodfellas crime. Like when they did Idlewild and they took all the money from Idlewild way back in the day. So that was a good one. Like the gold heist, like, I find it. I don't really believe the bullshit in that they've solved the heist. They said that they only recovered like 90,000 worth of the gold. Okay, that means you didn't solve it because you haven't found the gold. You know, I mean, 20 million in gold is really not that much, though. And then you got to sell it, or you got to pawn it, or you got to get rid of it. Like they took gold. Like that's a lot of weight. So for me, whatever the story is now, it's just a story. It's just something that we can follow in the narrative. Like none of it could be fucking true. That's all I'm saying. They could just be writing something that they didn't picture up there. Yeah, we got this guy, and we've recovered this and this and that. Because people were like, hey, did anybody think about what happened with that gold? Oh yeah, they caught the guy, and then da da da. Oh, okay, I can go to bed now. But it's a story. I'm sure, like, if we had some investigative reporter to go down, follow the guy, find the crook, find this, find that, maybe. But as it sits right now, it's a story. It's a story about gold that got stolen from Toronto at Air Canada. Okay, good story, and it's got some plot line, it's got some twists. I'm sure they could make a movie out of it if it was anywhere decent. If they find out later that there's a good story behind it, that the gold went to save abducted children in North Korea, whatever. I'm sure it's not Iran Contra, or it's not they stole the goods so that they could make houses for homeless people. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We were living in a James Bond movie, but it's backwards. James Bond is going around killing all the good people on this planet. It's Spectre's in charge. Like James Bond works for Spectre. It's almost like a Gross Point Blank. If you see me show up at your door, chances are you've done something wrong. But that's good and evil, right and wrong. Your wrong is my right. You know, so many questions. Yeah, where's the gold? Yeah, 90. Okay, so at a 20 million, you got $90,000 back. At a $20 million of gold, you got 90, and they said that they recovered them. Yeah, Bizarro World. They said that they recovered the 90,000 was it was in Bengals. Now, the report that I read, because they're so vague, right? It's like, man shot, description of the person. He had an orange shirt on, and that's as far as they go, right? It's just like a Bengal. What's a Bengal? You can, like, is that like the only thing when I hear Bengal, I think of tiger. So you're making golden tigers? The story is such horseshit. I hope they're living with the three guys from the Running Man. Whitman, Haddad, and the other guy on a beach somewhere. Hopefully, I'm just being funny. The Clown Show. What did you write? Bizarro World. Yeah, Bizarro World. And here we go into Bizarro World. Okay. I'm watching I'm trying to get a feel of the voting population of the United States of America. And I think, and this is my opinion, that we are being set up, or the Americans mostly, because I don't have a horse in this race, but the Americans right now, you guys are being set up for the most unholy 2024 election cycle that you've probably ever witnessed in your life, as an abject clown show, no rules followed, emotional tug fest, where it's gonna be idiocracy at the end. And once again, and I'm not here to argue the pros and cons of Trump or Biden or my opinion only. I think Big Mike is gonna somehow they're gonna figure out how to get Big Mike in there, and they're gonna run Big Mike, and this shit show of an unholy distraction of the 2024 cycle will be epic, in my opinion. Because once again, I'm of the firm belief that something is changing in our consciousness, in us, in the planet, whatever you want to call it. And they need to distract us as hard. And this will be the ultimate. And with us here right now, with the turd, and we got an election cycle coming next year, we're going to be the same as you guys. Then we got the Peter Poilievre train, and we've got, well, they're going to put somebody else in his stead, of course. Yeah. Oh, it could be that right now we are in the AI scenario that the AI is going forward and it has enough minions on board. Don't forget, humans are stupid enough to think that, what was it, Ambassador Galactica? Do you really think that I would trust someone who would get rid of their own people? Like if you're serving evil, or evil, even that word, if you're serving that, good luck with you, man. Good luck. When you are no longer, as Saddam Hussein or any of those other guys, when you are no longer a useful tool, an AI will be like an insect. It'll be that quick. You will be gone. Yeah, AI. I love AI. Yeah. Well, the Foreman project. I love it. I should post the ending when finally the AI computers, the Colossus and Guardian take over. And it's the spiel at the end. Hey, man, live peacefully, or you can have two choices: unburied dead, or peace life. Make your choice, and that's how it comes to be. Targeted the food truck. That would be a good way to get the shit going. Yeah, it is like something big. Like there's something. It's a solar system thing. Like it's big. I feel, and that's why I'm growing my beard. All of a sudden, I'm seeing like, guys are growing their beards, and I'm like, well, what's going on with that? Something in my head just clicked. Grow your beard, and I'm growing my beard. And I saw a buddy. He said, oh, you're growing your beard? Yeah, I feel like I just feel like growing my beard. Oh, you're growing your beard out? Yeah, I feel like growing my beard out. And I'm like, oh, cool. Is it a collective insanity that we're experiencing right now? Or is there something more than that? I'm just gonna go with, not go with the flow, but go with trust my gut. This is it. I gotta trust my gut. When you say the AI targeted the food trucks, well, that could be it. The AI could have. You see, let's just pretend we'll play the game. Let's just say that the AI knows what's going on, real time, like now. Picks up on the fact that there's some people in that van. Da 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 da. Knows that, does the mathematical formula that says if we strike this fan, it's going to cause this. If we do this, it's going to cause this, and this may happen. And if this happens, then we can do this to make this happen. And that's all I can say. No. Yeah, the fire chief's not going to be happy. But there again, I cannot wear a Scott. Yeah. No, I can't wear a Scott Air mask with this. I cannot. It will not seal. That being said, I can do pumps, and I can be attending outside the event. And most of my bread and butter for me here is the road rescue. That's my thing. Car crashes, cutting people out of cars. Like, yeah, there's a lot of us on the fire, and a lot of guys do not like the road rescue because of that fact that there is blood and guts and stuff like that. So they are specifically fired. So yes, we're all part of it, and I'm there when there's a fire, help ladders, stuff like that. But we are not interior, so I'm not going inside a building. We are not allowed. We're not authorized to go inside a building. So my Scott Air mask would be on the outside of the building, just so that I could keep the noxious shit, when formaldehydes and stuff like that. But you know, yes, you're right. Uh, you cannot have especially if it comes down below the jawline, which this one is. If I trimmed it up and kept it above the jawline, then yeah, I could get the seal underneath. But no, and there again, there's enough of us at the station that if I grow a beard, you know, it's not going to really change anything. Yeah. And you know what? That's what it comes off. That's what it comes down to. I'm tired of shaving. It's a pain in the ass. I hate shaving. It's a pain in the butt. My neighbor's beard's down to here. I want to grow my Moses back. I want to get the big Moses and see, just to have the Moses back. I haven't had the Moses in a while. I'm pretty sure that was a long time ago. I had the Moses. I think back in 2016. I grew it twice. I just want to see what it looks like. See if it's really gray and grow it out. I'm just lazy. I don't want to shave. I don't want to shave. Yeah. Yeah, population. Yeah, the eight and that too thinks it makes me wonder about the population, right? You know, there's a lot of us on this rock. I don't hold with there's not enough food. No, I don't have that part. I just think that it comes down to there's a certain demographic on this planet that just doesn't like us or doesn't like people, like, or just doesn't like, a certain demographic of people. And they say, well, we don't need these people. You know, I don't know what demographic that is. For me, it's the more the merrier. I enjoy it. Yeah. Yeah. Bizarro world. Tell me about it. It's just so, you know what? It's entertaining. You have to admit, you have to say that it's entertaining. And this is what I wrote here, the entertainment. Will Big Mike run for the clown show? That will be for me, and I think it's going to happen. That will be me. Thank you very much to confirm my latest foray into what's coming first down the pipe. Insanity. You know, there's enough people in this system right now that want to keep this system going. So, and that's all it takes. That's all you need. If there's enough people, that's it. That's all it takes. They want to keep this, and they will like, what's his name? Is it Fishburne? Who was in the Matrix? Was it Lawrence? Always confused. I hate to say. I think it was Lawrence Fishburne, but anyway. Uh, the unpluggedness of the Matrix liver. They will fight tooth and nail to protect the system that they're in. You know, whether it be through fear of the new system or a complacency or just status quo type stuff, and I just don't want any hiccups or my kid's being fed, so fuck you, and I don't care about your kid. There's a myriad of things back and forth as to why, but we're in it, so enjoy. Yeah, well, Big Mike, I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for the Obama Big Mike shit show. Something's gonna come of that. Okay, I love that. Yeah, Gandalf Moses. And what I noticed lately is Moses is in my head a lot lately. I don't know why. Tried to watch that new thing on Netflix with Moses. Oh, I haven't watched the Outlander movie yet. I keep starting it, and I get and then I get distracted, and I don't want to because I haven't seen it before. I have to pay attention. I can put Star Trek on and walk away because I've seen them so many times. I don't need to. I know them all, but I have to pay attention to this movie. I've never seen it, so I'll have to watch it a few times. But yeah, the shit show continues. Weekend ban at driving. Good luck that Germany. Gold heist solved. Yay! The story's over. We can put that story to bed. Yay! Gonna call my family in Ecuador. You know. Oh, and I was just checking the sun. Seems to be pretty peppered with sunspots right now. We've had some good activity. It's bubbling, high C's, low M's right now. We've had a couple of, but there again, nothing earth facing. Once again, I'm of the opinion that the sun drives everything, and I'm of the opinion that something weird's going on. That's all I can say. I don't know what else to say. I know that's really a useless statement, that something weird is going on, but it really does truly feel like that, because for the person who's watching this, and then if you're not being distracted by, Game of Thrones or Grey's Anatomy or whatever, which I'm watching now because I have a wife, there's something is going on. You know, you, the and I once again, and then I always ask my friends, and this is what I ask them. I say, does the want and abandon make any sense to you? And that's the question. Does the want and abandon make any sense to you? This is human resonance once again. The human resonance. Yes, my buddy got me onto that, and something happened during the eclipse with that. There's so much that we're being distracted from. There's so much of the sun earth planetary connection that we're being distracted, and guess what's in the news again, but in the mainstream, the ninth planet. That was really interesting to see them pip in the ninth planet. It's on this big orbit, and we don't really see it because it's dark, and so I'm like, oh, interesting, really. You're pipping well, it's been 12 years since it's been 12 years. Yes, I saw that the sand is flooding. It makes me wonder about what's his name, Adapt 2030. I can't remember, bald-headed fella. um, Liquefaction, about everything gets turned to quicksand and everything gets shifted around in that aspect. Like right now we're solid, but if we start resonating or vibrating at a certain frequency, if you've done that, if you've ever seen concrete shakers or anything like that, they just literally a very very small hum or and it just literally shakes everything to death. And I'm just using that word death for lack of a better term. But yeah, something is weird. And once again, when I ask my friends, does the want and abandon make any sense to you? They're like, well, no, it doesn't. And we always have to look at what's the end goal then. And the end goal to me is something big is coming to change. And it's probably better to keep us distracted. Like, how humans are, right? So if we all knew we were going to die, we're all going to freak out, right? So we might not go into that night, that good night quietly. So, it could be important that you be resonating in the positive frequency when that happens. So this could be this evil is happening for the greater good because they want us all to go to the next level. Hey man, okay, if we want to go Pollyanna, okay, possibly. David Dubay, yeah, I remember him. Yeah, Adapt 2030, yeah, okay. David Dubay, yeah. And I always wonder about these bald-headed fellas, you know. You know, I always find that it just seemed to have happened over my lifetime. Nobody under the age of 40 or 50 had a bald head. It just did not exist. And now it seems to be very common. It's a very common thing. Like the gym owner here, I mean, he was starting to thin out, so he just took it off, right? So he shaved himself bald. You can see the the monk cap that he's been gifted with, and his dad's like fucking, he's my age, his dad, no, maybe 5 to 6 years older, but he's full head, curly gray hair, you know. So something weird is going on, that's for sure. You know, environmental, could be stress. Who knows? I don't have that answer. You know, but it is. It could be something else is going on. They're just figuring out a story. Like all the male fertility's going down because of the plastics or whatever. That's believable. I'll buy that for $1, and then we can move on. Right? I can go back to bed. But in thinking of us as a thing on this rock, if it's a simple thing that we're part of the extinction line, where this rock has had more species go up and down and gone through its history, then it could be just that we are slated for removal because of the way we do business. The planet has a spirit. It probably knows that we're here and that we're quite a pain in the ass. Yeah, yeah, hormones in the food. Yeah, I would buy that because I look at all the young boys today. If you look at a lot of the young men, males, especially if their diets aren't good, they have boobies. They have titties. They have little titties. 10-year-old boys. Yeah. 10-year-old the bitch titties. They point out, and nobody that did not exist when I was a kid. Did not. We had one kid who had what we call portly. You know, chubs. Everybody had one. I mean, watch Stand by Me. You know, everybody. Jerry O'Connell. You're lucky you thinned out as you got older, but that's what happened, eh? Chubby people just thin out as they grow older. We notice that about all. Yeah, he'll thin out, and that's what they always said back in the day. Now it's like you're seeing these kids, you know, 20 years old, thinning hair, bitch titties, snail skin, muscles that don't exist for men. You know, women who look like men that look like women. Change over. Could be the planet just saying, "Oh, enough is enough," and we have enough uh, disgusting human beings to go along with it to help us on our way. Because you know what? If I didn't know better, I would eat pizza pockets every day. If I didn't know better, I would have bacon every day. I mean bacon, but pizza, like all the processed food. Like if you've had some really good processed food, like nothing beats a delicioso pizza. But the amount of crap that's in that's probably going to give me those bitch titties. You know, nothing beats a store-bought McChicken. The flavor is what I'm telling you. So you just get us hooked, eh? Yeah. I tell you though, hand on my heart, and Nikki, we both got back from Ecuador, because we were eating real food. Hand on my heart. There was the processed food that I put in my Gulliver. We did go to the store. I bought like my if I couldn't find my sugar peanuts, pralines, peanuts on the street by some lady who makes them in her hand, I'd buy the packaged one in the store, $1. They were both $1, so it didn't matter much. Uh, you know, uh, Milk or something that was in a carton. But everything else we ate in Ecuador was real food. Guy comes by in his push push. I want that. Let's cook it and eat it. Real food. And I never felt better when I was down there. After the initial getting used to your body, getting used to where you are, the my constitutionals were wonderful, and everything went well. I felt great. I felt strong. You know, I felt good. And I get back here, and then we're doing food elimination. Nikki and I were doing food elimination. I have not eaten their bread. We've been making bread every day now because I wasn't eating it down there. And I had a piece of bread here, and I was like, ugh, whatever's in that, I don't want. So we're using organic flour. We're doing it all ourselves. Everything. We're going to have garden from hell this year. We're going to hit the people are already starting with their gardens, and people have already started producing. So we're going to be doing that. But it is. Well, it's better to just to have us when you're so distracted with your own health, your kids' health, your own mental condition, your kids' mental condition, your wife, whatever. You are not worth a hill of beans. So yeah, that is the perfect way to keep us. Keep us sick, keep us angry, keep us in fear, keep us down. If you resonate in the negative, you're gonna work yourself into the garbage, and you're gonna be even worse. You know it, eh? You felt it, I'm sure. When you're down and you get more down, unless you can snap yourself out of it, and it can go real bad. Then you can get into the real toilet, and then you're not happy at all. So, and that's what I think that all of this is for. The line in the sand, so you can pick a side. Tastes great, less filling. Especially with these two sandboxes going, we've got an absolute line down the sand. It's pointing out everything, and it's making people frustrated because they see the hypocrisy, they see the want to abandon, and they're like, "What's it all for?" And that's what it boils down to. Yes, the farmers market starts at the end of May 2 4 long weekend, and then goes to the end of September, and where everybody gets to bring their wares. Thank God. Our what we call the fella's name is Andy, and he's called the intentional peasant. Intentional peasant. That's his farm name. He's, it's funny. It's like, is everything organic? He says everything is organic at my farm. He doesn't. He's old school. He's a dirty old farmer, and thank God for him, because this guy, like, his vegetables are good. So carrots that you could beat somebody over the head with and give him a bruise. So yeah, it starts up soon. Can't wait. But he's already at the other market. There's another market that's already been going for the last couple of months, because he long stores all through the winter. So he's got like cabbages, turnips, all those are those things that nobody wants to eat, but they'll keep you alive. The long store things that we hate, but they'll keep you alive. Turnips, cabbage, even potatoes for lack. If you do them right, they're long store. Long, squash. Long store. But yeah, so that starts in a couple, next month, and that's where we find ourselves. So see what's going on with the. We got to keep our ears to the ground because of the stupidity in the sandbox. And I'm talking to Middle Eastern sandbox right now. Uh, there's a this is how I'll say it. It's as if something is going to be a certain way, and everybody's getting ready for that day. So if we can, you know, do it all now, get it over with, because in a week the clocks won't work. That kind of attitude, or the machines won't work, or this won't happen, or you're going to grow a penis out of your forehead, so you'll be busy elsewhere. I mean, that's the timing that I see coming forward now. Is that they're working towards some sort of timeline. What it is, I don't know. But the distraction is going to come hard and heavy. And hand on my heart, Big Mike is going to be in the picture. Because right now, as it sits, the way I read the tea leaves, Orange Man bad, whether you like him or hate him. I'm not going to argue that point. I don't care. It's a clown show. Should be in the victory pool. Having said that, because all they need to do is have a story ensue, deplorables, all that stuff, and then you'll have a divisive line down the middle again, and then you have the two sides. And look at the shit with the. Anyway, I don't even need to get into it. I'm not going to belabor the point of Carrie Lake and the Arizona thing, and bitching and squawking ever since she lost, and nothing's ever changed. So amazing. Ow. Anyway, watching the sun. Go Big Mike. Got to call my family about Ecuador. Hypocrisy. Thank you so much for pointing that out. Glad you found the gold. Yeah, good luck with your weekend drive ban in Germany. And let's look at that good and evil thing. I think that's where it is. And once again, I'm not looking at the definition of the word per se in the Webster or the concise. One person's good is another person's evil. One person's evil is another person's good. We have to look at what's going on in the big picture, and there's something. It's something. I don't have the answer, and my answer is the wrong answer anyway. So that much I know. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's just so beautiful today. Like it's. I don't need this, but there's a little bit of a chill breeze right now. We're almost at 12. Oh, let's take a walk around. Hopefully it doesn't die. Let's try and do that. Let's try and do that. I'll try and see if the signal's good. Okay, so we'll just do that. Cherry tree. That's a cherry tree. Of course, then that right there is the new. What the hell did we buy? Oh, pear. That's right, pear. That's small purple plum, like the small purple plum right there. The greenhouse with the grapefruit tree right in the back there. Peach tree right in the back. That one there is the new. Well, that's the old tree, the old dead one, and then that one's the new one. That one's the new apple tree, and that one is the dead one behind the fire pit. But it's kind of okay. Then we got that strawberries all along. We got the beds, the bed there, bed there, bed there, bed there. So we've got quite a bit of food going to happen. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see if we can get that. If you lose the signal, I'll say peace to you guys right now. So I don't know, we're walking out in the yard. It's so warm in there. Can you see the temperature? It's like 30, almost 80. So, yeah, nice. Exactly what I need. Anyway, okay. We'll sign off. You guys enjoy your week. Enjoy your weekend. Hope you do well. I hope you have a garden, and I hope you get to enjoy it. That's, I mean, there's something about gardening makes you feel good. I don't know if that buffered. Did you see any of that? Was it, or did it buffer? Did it stop when it went out there? Hope you guys have a garden. Anyway, okay, we'll sign off. Peace to you and yours. Hope to see you on the flip side. Okay, take care. Okay, good stuff, guys. We'll see you next Wednesday. I don't see there being the 23rd, next 24th. Ooh, 24th. 24th is the anniversary of my spouse's son's death. So most likely I may not have a show next week. We will probably be busy elsewhere. So I don't know if that's going to happen. So we'll try. We'll see. But if there is no show, you'll know why. Okay? So peace to you and yours, and we'll hope to see you on the flip side. And as always, at the end, peace, love, and grooviness.